Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ulsi, and today's video was inspired by the Welsh twins. They did a video very similar to this quite a while back where they talked about their favorite products, and they found bad reviews on each product. Yeah, just talked a little bit around that. If they have experienced the same, how they feel about the product, and so on. And so I thought I would choose some of my top favorite beauty products and talk about and read some bad reviews and just see what people say about it. Alright, the first product I want to talk about is one of my favorite blushes of all time, and I think for a lot of people. This is the Milani Luminoso blush. This is my second blush of this. I do think it's a little bit different than the first one I had, but almost unnoticeable. I have used so much of this. I'm not gonna give you a really good look because this is in one of my project pans, so I don't want to show you too much progress. But I have used this a ton, especially these last few months or this year, and I've gotten tons of use out of it. It gives the most beautiful glow color to the cheeks. It is, I don't really need to use a highlighter when I use this. It's just like a blush and a highlight in one, so you also have to be a little bit careful with this one, but once you get a hang of it, it's just gorgeous, and I love using it in the summer months because it's just a really great summer color, I think. I have it on today, by the way, so you can kind of see the shade. Yeah, it's a baked blush. It's cruelty free. It's pretty affordable. I did have at least one, maybe two other shades from this line. I had the Rose d'Oro and I believe one other shade, but I don't remember. I did declutter both of those because I felt that they were way too shimmery, and this is what was left. And I kind of see myself always having this in my collection because it's just the perfect blush, I feel like, for me and for a lot of people. So I'm curious to see. I went on the Milani website to see these bad reviews, and I've ranged them into 1 stars, not too many, but the first one here says that this product is hollow in the middle of it. You think the container is full, but as you are using it, you get a hole in the middle and then the rest of the product breaks. This happened to me twice. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, I haven't gotten so far into it that I know if this one is hollow or not. That could quite possibly be the case. Also, it comes with a brush and a mirror, by the way. In Milani's defense, it does say how many grams this contains, which is 3.5 grams. So I am assuming that the amount of product is accurate to the weight. It's never a good thing if the product appears to be fuller than it actually is. You can see that with a lot of products, with, you know, eyeliners and lipsticks and so on. So I can see that that can be a little bit like provoking if you dig into your blush and then it's hollow. But I am assuming that she has used her blush many times because I haven't tracked this, but I would guess that I've probably used this blush maybe 250 times or more. I think somewhere around there, and I still haven't hit pan, so yeah, that's interesting. I'm interested now to see if this is hollow as well. Okay, color is totally different than shown. I bought two of the same and even they were different. Again, I think it can turn out a little bit different when the product is baked, but it could also be a difference between the original and the new version of these blushes, because I also saw a slight difference in tone within the original that I had and then this one. Maybe it depends a little bit on how you swatch it, how much of the highlighting part versus the actual colored blush part that is mixed in each blush. I don't know. Also, I do remember way back, this is like 10 years ago or maybe more, when I first got my original baked blush. The reason why I was disappointed in those two other blushes, I believe it was two, that I got, was because the swatches on their website was completely different than the blushes that I got when I received them. So, and that kind of defeats the purpose of showing a swatch on your website if it's completely different than the actual product. So I can see that as well. That's why I really like to go on YouTube, look at different videos with people reviewing or using the product that I'm interested in, or going on, looking at these reviews or Timtalia or just different websites that talks about the product, because I think it's really, it gives a more fuller, precise, honest picture of the product before I decide to buy it. But really, you should be able to get a good idea of what the product look like from the actual website that they sell it when you watch or when you look at the swatches that they have available. So I can absolutely see the frustration around that. Too shimmery and left blush everywhere with the fallout. Very disappointing. Yes, this is by far the most shimmery blush that I have. You have to kind of be prepared that this is going to work as a blush and highlighter in one. So if you're not into that and you're not really into glowy blushes, or you don't like using highlighters at all, this is probably not the blush for you. But I really enjoy that part because I can skip highlighter altogether when I use this blush. And fallout, I don't experience any fallout really at all with this one. At least nothing that bothers me. Alright, the next product I'm going to talk about is from Becca. It is now sold through Smashbox, but this is the shade Moonstone, the Shimmering Skin Perfector. And I've hit pan on this. I've had this for so long now, and I really enjoy this highlighter. It is probably my all-time favorite highlighter. I think the shade is beautiful for me. I think the packaging is really nice and sleek. I think it looks gorgeous and very natural and very like, yeah, it gives a very natural glow on the cheek. It's not like a disco ball. I guess you can make it out to be if you apply a lot, but if you're careful with this one, it just gives the most natural, beautiful glow to your skin. And it's exactly what I want in a highlighter. I'm not a huge highlighting girl at the moment. I only own 2 highlighters. I used to have many, but it's just, it's not the favorite part of my makeup routine. So I just wanted to keep my like absolute favorites, and this is one of those. So yeah, let's see what they say about this one. The packaging is so beautiful and sleek, but the actual product itself is so low quality. The powder is so fine that it's too thin and breaks very quickly. I've gotten to the point where I don't wear it because I keep having to fix it from shattering. Okay, I have not experienced this shattering. I haven't been forced to repress it or anything. I will say though that a little chip right here has come off from the packaging, which is not good because it is an expensive product. I do avoid traveling with this just because I am scared that they might shatter or I might lose them or something. So maybe that would have been something I would have experienced as well if I did go traveling with this one. But I don't. This was full of chunky glitter. Love some Becca, but not this. I wonder if this is the exact shade or if it's one of the other shades, because this is not glittery at all. It just gives the most beautiful glow to the skin. So I don't experience any glitter with this one. For that reason, I also really like to use it as an all-over lid shade or an inner corner highlight, especially now that I have problems with dry eyes. They easily get irritated, and getting like glitter particles in my eyes is just the worst these days. So having something like this that is so finely milled, it stays on the skin much more easily. It doesn't travel around in my face. So yeah, I don't experience that at all with this one. Can't use powder highlighters on my face because my skin is too dry. Would have liked to try the liquid highlight instead. Yes, I can see that. I also would like to try one of those liquid highlighters. I think those are gorgeous. But when that's said, out of all dry or powder highlighters, I think this is great for dry skin, to be honest. So, because I have normal to dry skin, and for me it just works great. But of course, if you have really dry skin, I can see that might be an issue. Alright, the next product is, I don't have it with me now, I have used it up, but it's in Natasha Denona Hy-Glam Concealer. I think I would say it's at least one of my favorite concealers of all time. I really, really enjoyed it. And there's a big possibility that I will repurchase it, but it is very expensive. And that's like my only con really for this product, is that it's very expensive. But other than that, I really, really enjoyed it. They do have, I actually have a separate video reviewing the concealer, so I go really in depth in that video. But I enjoy their shade range, how easy they've made it for, even though I found it a little bit difficult even so, but they do provide you with a lot of information. They try to help you find your shade, and the packaging is beautiful. The applicator is really nice. It has high coverage. It lasts. Yeah, so many great things to say about that concealer. So let's see what people are saying. I actually can't find anyone that has rated this a 1-star. I'm at the natashadenona.com website. This is the second time I've tried this concealer and it just doesn't work for me. I have other Natasha Denona products that I love, but I don't understand the hype about this concealer. For reference, I am 44 with combination skin, some fine lines and wrinkles. Yeah, I'm 39. You have to be careful with this concealer because a little goes a long way, and even though it is pretty lightweight, it is on the thicker side, even though it's not a thick formula. I don't know how to explain it. It is very similar to Catrice's True Skin Concealer. Very, very similar. You're gonna love this if you like the Catrice one, and vice versa. But yeah, you have to make sure to use just a little bit at the time at least, and rather build it up instead of applying too much at once, because that will most likely give you a lot of creasing, especially if you already have some fine lines and wrinkles. This product is very light colored for my skin tone. I order it expecting it to be tan and not so white. When I wear it, I look like a ghost and I don't like the color of it. The product is overall very good, but I won't be repurchasing it ever. Yeah, I think unfortunately sometimes you can be way off with the choice of color, but I think they have a pretty good range of shades to choose from. But there's just different, undertones, a lot of things that you have to be aware of. But I do think there's a shade for most skin tones and undertones, but it is a little bit of a jungle to figure out the right one. Absolutely, and I can attest to that. I prefer lighter coverage for everyday makeup, and so a little bit of product is enough. The only thing I disliked about this product was that it felt heavy on my skin when I applied multiple layers. You can build up the coverage. Yes, that's quite possible. I always stick to light to medium coverage in most situations. I prefer light coverage when it comes to foundations as well. So I never really built this concealer up to be at its highest potential. So there's a lot of reviews saying it's not for mature skin, not for dry skin, which I can see. If you want to go for a medium to full coverage, the result might be a little bit like heavy and prone to crease. But again, for me, for what I wanted out of the concealer, it was really good. Alright, the next product I also don't have to show you because I used all of it up. It was the Tilbury Magic Vanish Color Corrector. I have mine in the shade Fair, which was the lightest one. And I've tried so many color correctors before, and I've also tried a few after I had that corrector, and I still haven't found anyone that's quite as good as that one. That just did everything I wanted a corrector to do. It did correct. It was very creamy, but not so dewy, because there's like a fine balance between being too like hydrating and creamy and dewy and being too dry and matte looking under my eyes. Today I have one from, is it Essence or Catrice? Yeah, I'll write that under here. I do really enjoy that one, but again, it's not as good as my Charlotte Tilbury one. It's just it didn't crease. It had the best balance between being creamy and not too dry and not too dewy, and it looked really natural. I really liked the packaging. It came with a mirror and it was just perfect. Again, we have the price. It's very expensive, so that's why I haven't repurchased it yet, but I think I will in the future. So let's look. I'm at Cult Beauty right now, and a review says that the color corrector is very creamy and lightweight. For me, it doesn't correct enough. There are better options on the market. She might be right. The shade that I chose had a slight peachy tone, but it's not like as peachy as a lot of other color correctors, but I just felt like it had the perfect tone for me. I have a lot of like blue veins underneath my eyes that I need to color correct, and a little bit of darkness. So I felt like it was perfect for that. It does cover my dark circles, but it sometimes pills over my SPF. We'll keep using it though. I never experienced peeling. I don't apply SPF super close to my eyes because that will irritate my eyes quite a bit. So I actually never put SPF on my eyelids or anywhere too close to my eyes. Yeah, I like it, but it's not full coverage. So I guess a lot of people are experiencing that part. I love the feeling under the eyes, perfect for no makeup days, but a little bit small for the price. Yes, I agree. I will put the weight here somewhere, but because I don't remember it at the moment, but I do remember hitting pan and using it up fairly quickly. Can't remember how quickly, maybe about a year's time. So it wasn't like too quick. Because it is a creamy product, it will expire. But I do remember using it up a little bit quicker than other similar products. Like the one that I'm using now is a thick, deep jar with way more product, but I also feel like I need to use more product with that one for some reason. It creased a couple of times, but now it doesn't. I think that has to do with how much you apply. Like after a while you learn how much you should apply. I ended up using one of those small lip applicator brushes, and I just applied the tiniest bit right at my problem areas. I don't apply it like all under my eyes everywhere. If that doesn't work, it will crease. And so I applied it with a brush and then I tapped it to kind of warm it up and blend it in a natural way. So I do think it has a lot to do with the way you apply it. I bought a medium. It's a bit dark. Would have gone for the lightest if it was more peach than pink. Yeah, I guess this person is right about that, and that's maybe why I like it so much. It is a mixture between peach and pink, and I find that to be more natural looking than a super peachy one. But it depends on what you're color correcting and your skin tone and everything as well. So, but the fair shade was just perfect for me. Alright, the next one I want to talk about is one of my favorite lip products. The LH Cosmetics Fanastick in Pink Opal is my shade. And I've used this a ton. It's a beautiful shade. This is what it looks like. I have it on today, but it's mixed with another shade, so it's not really accurate. I'll see if I can find some swatches. But I really enjoy this one. It has an SPF 15, which you can't taste, you can't detect that SPF at all, which is rare to find in lip products these days. Usually when I buy lip products with SPF, I can really taste the SPF, and I find that really disgusting. But with this one, you can't taste it at all, and it's really hydrating, it's cruelty-free, it's vegan, it's made from this amazing Swedish influencer that I have followed for years and years, Linda Hallberg. It's just really creamy, hydrating, love the shade, love everything about this lipstick, and I will for sure repurchase again and again and again. I went into Linda Hallberg's own website. I can only find one-star review. It says, I usually love these lipsticks, but this color was too bleak for me. I wonder what color she chose. The picture indicated that the color would have more punch to it. I gave it to a friend who is more into discreet colors than I am. Yeah, I think you shouldn't expect too opaque of a color with these ones. It is quite sheer. It just blends in with your lip really, and that's what I love about it, because I don't have to use a mirror to apply it. It's just really easy to apply on the go. I always keep it in my purse or my backpack when I travel or when I'm out and about during the summertime. Let's look at the 2 stars. Unfortunately, this is not for me. The color, which is Garnet, is stunning, and I have really looked forward to a creamy and sheer lipstick with SPF. But I have found the formula much too slippery and uneven for me. It is impossible to get a smooth look, and it settles in the most unflattering way. I'll be using it as a cream blush and possibly as a lip topper, but I'm sad that it didn't turn out great. Okay, that's interesting. I haven't experienced that with this shade, which is again Pink Opal. Also, she made a point that I forgot. You can use this as a cheek blush, cheek tint as well. I haven't even tried it as a blush, but maybe I will. But formula too slippery? Yeah, not with this shade that I have. And I don't always like the smell. I don't think it should be this expensive, but it does make you feel, your lips feel smooth and shiny and moisturized. But I did get it on sale, so it's fine. Yeah, it is on the more expensive side. I'll agree on that. But the scent, I can't smell anything. It doesn't smell like anything. It doesn't last on the lips for too long. I guess that's kind of one of the negatives with having a more sheer, hydrating lipstick. To me, it feels like a tinted lip balm, to be honest. So it does not perform as a matte liquid lipstick, or yeah, it does come off the lips a lot more faster. Wish it lasted longer, yeah. It's so hard to find really good lip products with SPF, so I really cherish this one. Alright, the next one, again, I don't have here to show you. I've used up a countless amount of bottles of this. I absolutely love it, and I will repurchase it as soon as I've gone through a few more hydrating mists that I already have in my collection. But I am talking about the Pixi Glow Mist. It's just the best hydrating mist for dry skin, and it has all these great like natural oils, propolis, aloe vera, and fruit extracts. It just leaves the skin feeling very smooth, hydrated, glowy. It gives a beautiful glow. I love to use it before starting my makeup routine and then after, especially during the drier, colder months of the year. Yeah, I just think it's great for normal to dry to very dry skin. The spray was really wet. My face is oily after using this. It's important to shake it really well before you apply it. Also, I think it's probably a terrible product if you have oily skin or even oily to normal combination skin. It's really just a product for normal to dry, dry to severely dry skin. It's so far been just okay for everyday use. Not loving the smell. Yeah, I can see that. It smells a little bit like herbs, but it's not too bad. I don't mind it. It's not very like overly strong or anything. The scent goes away fairly quick after you have applied it. The first few times I used this, I really enjoyed it. It was lightweight, glowy, nourishing, fragrance-free, and it didn't irritate my skin, as some others seem to have found. So this one thinks it's fragrance-free. That's interesting. However, after using it for less than a week, something happened to the nozzle. I have tried shaking, cleaning, etc., but it no longer comes out as a mist. Instead, it squirts forcefully in a way that makes it pretty much impossible to use directly on the face. I can apply it with a cotton pad, but that's not really the point of a mist, right? Yeah, so like I said, I've had so many bottles of this, and I have had a few of those bottles be acting the way that this person describes it. So the mist of it is not always perfect, but I would say like 8 out of 10 times it is. But yeah, the person is right. Sometimes you can unfortunately get a bad bottle. It doesn't really do anything, to be honest. I have normal to dry skin and I don't see any benefit in using this. I think it's best for dry skin. I have combination skin and this made my skin look greasy and broke me out in my T-zone. I don't think there is anything wrong with the product. It simply didn't suit my skin type. Stay away from this if you have oily skin. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, unfortunately it doesn't work for everyone. Next product is also a product I have purchased several times. It is the e.l.f. Wow Brow in Neutral Brown. This is the best brow gel I've ever tried. It also has these little fibers in it that kind of gives the look of a fuller brow. It's the perfect shade for me. I'm not the kind of person who likes those like laminated brows, or I've never been into using like brow glue. I like them looking more natural, but this is just perfect for me. It's affordable, cruelty-free, great product. So let's see. I just received my order and my brow gel was very dry. Might be because it had to be shipped, but I don't know. Yeah, I have never experienced it being too dry at all. Adds some nice color and fullness, yes, but can smear if too much is on the wand. I've never felt the need to, like, sometimes, at least I used to do it, but I never really do it anymore. I used to kind of wipe off mascara wands and stuff. I never had to do that with this one. So I can't say I've experienced anything like that. I bought this product for a tinted brow gel for everyday use and it was so messy. None of the shades worked for me and it dried out after a week of using it, and I closed it properly so it shouldn't have dried out. Yeah, I guess that's happened to several people here. I've never experienced that. I'm gonna say I might have had maybe 5 or 6 of these previously and I've never experienced it. I don't like this brow gel. It's just not for me. It doesn't work. It doesn't say why, but you know, it may have been different expectations, I guess, because if you're looking for like a laminated brow, you don't get that with this one. Yeah, I can't really find more bad reviews on this one, so I guess that's a good sign. So I'm going to talk about my last product now, which is a perfume. I had to include my all-time favorite perfume, which is the Cerruti 1881. So let's see if I can find a good review on this. I've talked about this in so many videos. I have one of my oldest videos is a review about this perfume. So if you want to see like an in-depth review of this, go check that out. But this is floral vanilla based perfume that is absolutely lovely. It is just, yeah, the best perfume of all time, I think. It's just very, very unique. I've never smelled anything like this. It's a very complex scent. So let's see what they say. Okay, so I need to wear my glasses for this because this is a lot. I'm at fragrantica.com, which is the website I go to the most for perfume reviews. And so most people like this. Too heavy with excessive sprays. Yes, a little goes a long way with this perfume. You only need the tiniest spray and it'll last until the next time you shower. If you spray it on clothes, it'll last until you wash your clothing. I do get more of a vintage vibe from it, and I prefer more of a modern take on florals. So yeah, this is a 90s perfume, so it's an old perfume, I guess you can say. So I get that. It's not very modern. When you smell it, it does remind you of a lot of those 90s perfume that was trendy and popular back then, but I still feel like it's a classic. I would have preferred the fragrance to stay clearly floral and springtime colored. Yeah, I think that's the reason why I really like it so much, because it's not a typical floral to me. I'm not a floral perfume kind of girl. I prefer more gourmand vanilla kind of perfumes, and this is not a gourmand at all. This is, for me, this is a floral, but it does have those creamier vanilla and softer floral notes that I enjoy. So it's just easier to digest, I guess. Okay, I'm having a hard time finding something bad about this perfume. A lot of people really enjoy this. I have found that this is the most headache-inducing fragrance I have ever tried. I suppose it just doesn't work with my body chemistry, and it's way too fruity for my taste. I just find it very heavy, and the different notes combined don't make sense to me personally. Although I have smelled this on someone I know, and it smelled beautiful on them. Yes, and that's true with perfume. Like on some people it smells amazing, on others it doesn't. You like a perfume on your friend, and then when you try it yourself, it doesn't work with your body chemistry, and then, yeah, I guess that's just how it is with perfume. And headache inducing, yeah, I can see that. I think with most florals, they can be headache inducing, and if you go overboard with this, like if you spray more than once, it's gonna give you a headache, I think. So yeah, that's true. But if you're light-handed with this one, it's gonna be perfect. It's definitely a unique and very sweet floral. Definitely do not blind buy. Yeah, I guess it's not a blind buy perfume unless you really, if you like white florals, soft, mixed with a soft vanilla and musk, you're gonna love this, I think. Okay, that was fun. I really enjoyed doing this video. It was interesting to see what people thought of my favorite beauty products. Have you tried any of these products? I would love to know in the comments. But I think that's it for this video. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye!